Now, I would assume that some aspects of Prince Harry's stupid book might have done a little something to harm the reputation of Prince William. But people who understand the value of the royal family in the UK and the Commonwealth can make intelligent judgments themselves based on what is already in the public domain, as well as the totality of everything Harry wrote. We certainly do not require Harry's one sided stories to figure out what we should think about Prince William. Harry tried to make his older brother look unattractive and arrogant and unreasonable, make him look like a violent person who didn't even marry for love. Harry didn't even try to portray his brother in a balanced way. I mean, there were no stories of William protecting him when he was a boy. There was no mention that it was William and Catherine who hosted him and Meghan when she came over for her first Christmas in Sandringham. Harry also did not want to talk about the mental health project the three of them worked so hard on together before Meghan became a part of his life. By focusing on stupid stuff like William being more bald than he is and looking less like their mother now, Harry lost a lot of credibility. And he lost a lot of credibility thanks to the way he went on and on about William getting a better position in the bedroom at Sandringham. I mean, come on, Harry. We don't care about those complaints. Prince William's fans can easily see how both brothers have handled themselves over the past 3 years. We see William with his wife and family. We see him busy performing his duties. We see him, and nothing Harry writes can change what we see with our own eyes. What we see is class all the way through, and William has this inner glow about him that cannot be extinguished. Both of them, both William and Catherine, shine from the inside. You see, you can't make stuff up like that with Harry and Meghan. They've tried to, but they failed. They enjoy each other, and that also radiates. It's not only when they know the camera is focused on them that their love shines through. Harry's just jealous of William, obviously, and he's so immature. Harry always wants everything to be given to him without having to do any work. Harry has always been quite the playboy, partying through life, living on his royal status, and treating people like everybody owes him something. Harry doesn't seem to understand that if you want respect, you've got to give respect too. Nobody really cares about Harry's status. People care about the way he treats others. And Meghan Markle is completely worthless. I understand that Spare was supposed to appeal to an American audience, but obviously Harry was delusional, and it seems like Americans only have a more negative opinion of him than they did before, and William's reputation has not been harmed in the least. Just look at Family Guy. Like him or hate him, I think there are many people in the US who appreciate Prince William's Earthshot initiative, and they view his attempts at tackling environmental issues as being honorable and a lot more sincere and effective than Harry's. So, no, I don't think Harry succeeded in his mission to make his older brother look bad. But if Prince William's reputation was harmed even just a little bit, well, I would say Catherine more than makes up for that. She seems to have just as much class as the former queen. In the PR world, she is a home run every single time. Unlike Meghan, of course, who seems to be wound way too tight for the lifestyle that she worked so hard to get. In fact, many people think that it would have been a better idea to just skip Charles altogether as king and focus on William in the top job. This is how the people in the UK view their heir apparent. He is so dedicated to the job. He carries out his charity work with charm. He's such a loving, hands on father and a doting husband. He's a real support to both the king and queen, the father and his stepmother. He never publicizes his time as a search and rescue pilot, and he has kept a dignified silence in spite of constant criticism coming from Harry. And that is why Prince William is so respected, because he's an actually decent, loyal person. And his gorgeous wife, Princess Catherine, is so respected, and she is his perfect support. By the way, they really did bring out their best in Harry, but tragically, Meghan Markle is just skimming the bottom of the barrel, and she is intentionally bringing out the worst in him. Harry looked happy, but now he's saying that he was only acting. Well, if that's true, that makes Harry a much better actor than Meghan is, and I know that's not very hard to beat, but anyway. Harry destroyed his own credibility, and Meghan too, with every single lie they told, because they got caught in all their lies. They have only made people have more respect for Prince William, for King Charles, and the rest of the family too. Most people don't even consider Harry to be a royal anymore. He's the one who wanted to walk away. He certainly does not act in any way warranting royal titles or even special treatment. I cannot stand either Harry or Meghan, and I'm far from alone in that opinion. I mean, even in the US, people see William for the wonderful man who he is, and we see Catherine for the extraordinary woman that she is. I see how authentic they are. They don't need to tell me they're authentic. Their dedication to both duty and their families is a beautiful thing to witness. I see how genuine their love is for one another. I see how smart they are. They've got a sense of humor, and they are so gracious. Nothing that Harry or Meghan can do or say is going to change my opinion. In fact, most people only appreciate William more for putting up so patiently with his aggressive and annoying younger brother and refusing to join in a public childish argument about ridiculous happenings that are completely made up. Harry also forgot to talk about the women and animals who he abused and injured pretty badly on some occasions. Harry should be locked up, and they should only let him out with mental health minders. There's a lot that's been discussed about streamlining the royal family, and I think this should include finding real jobs for primarily male siblings of the first in line. Instead of being spares, they could figure out how to make their own living and avoid this pitfall of jealousy and poor life choices. I think a real career would be grounding to them, and actually, it would be a great way to prepare them if they ever really needed to take the reins. And I'm not saying female siblings should always be left out. I mean, for example, though, Princess Anne has been so focused her entire life, and she's been so successful in her role. But then again, Princess Margaret ended up in an early grave because she was unable to accept being second in line and living responsibly. And not only puppet positions, I am talking about real careers. And I think that staying in the military would have been great for Harry. By all accounts, I have read that he was content when he was serving in the army. If I remember correctly, Harry was in an active combat situation in Afghanistan. And because William didn't have any kids yet, Harry was still second in line to the throne. Now, at some point, his cover was blown by a journalist, and that jeopardized his entire team and made him a possible hostage target, so they called him home. I do wonder if this sudden end to a career that he actually appreciated also created some resentment. Maybe that's why he feels so lost. At this point, though, it's not important because Harry is so far down the line. But the Queen, of course, could not have realized that at the time. Still, it's all pretty tragic. Harry's probably too old at this point to sign up again. Or maybe there's just too much water under the bridge to go back. If Harry realized that he needed to have his own career, then maybe he could have used his military education to figure out a good role for himself. Harry's situation is not simple, I understand, but not preparing him from early on for the idea of having a real career to focus on is, I think, something the royal family might regret. And I think a lot more of William because he's having to tolerate all of these nasty, ugly accusations. I mean, even if he raised his voice once to Harry, they're brothers after all. All siblings argue, all siblings raise their voices at one another, and they know how to push each other's buttons more than anybody else. But Harry has told so many lies, and he is so jealous of his brother, and he'll do anything to try to hurt him. As other people have mentioned, William is so handsome. That is one good looking man. He's intelligent and he knows how to work hard. And then his wife is equally gorgeous and equally intelligent. And no matter what she tries to say, Meghan Markle knows that too. There are so many photos of her staring at William with a look of longing in her eyes. And I think Harry's jealous. William always protected Harry, and this is the things that he gets. I would never speak to him again if I were William. Harry crossed the line so far it is not even funny. And you, do you agree with us? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments section. If you think my video is useful, please remember to like and share it with your friends and family members who would enjoy it anytime you want. And please